Hello and welcome to my channel, AB Make It Artwork, where we do what we do to make that holiday artwork for you. And this video is a speed draw of the two prompts, Warm Drink and Fuzzy. And for Warm Drink, I used a image of someone holding a mug that I found on Pinterest. And I referenced that image so that I would know what I wanted to draw as far as the pose went and how to put the hand holding the mug. And as you can see, I did my usual rough sketch. And for this piece, I wanted to create the illusion of layers and depth, but without lines. And so I would create several different layers for objects and all the shadows. And when it came to the shading process, I would select the layer which had those objects. For instance, I had 3 different main layers, and that was skin, sweater, mug. So I would select the skin, which was the hands and the face. I would go on different layers, sometimes using multiply, sometimes keeping it normal. Sometimes I would go back and forth between the two and lower the opacity so that these shadows on the skin look nicer. And I went with that kind of method of shading for all of them. I would take a color, take the hue and saturation bars, and I would move them over for the color picking chart. Because if you're using Procreate, it's probably like Photoshop and Paint Tool SI. You can have a different option for your color picking chart. I use the classic version, which has the little box that I can see all the colors, and then I just move the little bars around for where am I sitting on the hue chart, what's the saturation, what's the tone, I want to say. I would go back and forth on those little bars to find different shading colors. Every now and again I would use a screen layer with a hue that was slightly more yellow for that tone or that color, the main color, and I would use that as a highlight, which is what I did on the sweater. So you can see I'm working on the mouth. I made the mouth on a separate layer so that it was a different object and then merged it down with the face. And right now I think I kept it to normal layer when it came to that coloring of the lips. I decided that the shading for the neck wasn't enough, so I went in with another multiply over that area. Here you can see me working on mistletoe, which is just decorations for the cup. This was on a separate layer over the cup, and you can see me work on the lettering. I wrote the words out, duplicated or copied those words, and then mushed them. The steam was probably my favorite part. I think it was on an add kind of layer effects, and it was just me smooshing and smudging the color around. And that was Cup of Cheer Warm Drink. This one is Fuzzy Hugs. The idea with Fuzzy Hugs is that at first the prompt was going to be fuzzy socks. I decided, no, I'm just going to reduce it to one word instead of being multiple words for most of these prompts, because I don't want it to be too specific, because if you guys want to join in Drawcember, I want you to have some freedoms. So I decided I'm going to make the word fuzzy, and I thought, what if there's a fuzzy teddy bear on a fuzzy bed with some fuzzy pillows holding a pair of fuzzy socks? Because that was someone's Christmas present idea. And that's sort of what I went with. And it's the same ideal, different layers with different objects that were drawn. For instance, pillows, different layers, they're different items. For the bear though, I had the little limbs on separate layers from the main body. And I would select those colors, go through the color selection tool, just mess with the hue and saturation, increasing those to get shade colors. But for this one I used the paintbrush tool as my primary tool because I liked the texture it had when drawing this piece. It gave a sort of naturally fuzzy texture. It's obviously a very painterly brush for the digital program, and as you can see, I set the opacity for the brush very low, very transparent. I think it was at like 20% throughout most of the drawing process, so that I could create different gradients and like layers of texture for different items. And I think right now you can see me working on the button eyes, because those are on a separate layer too. So that means I'm probably done with this prompt. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you've been enjoying Drawcember, enjoying my Vlogmas series, maybe hit that subscribe button, join the AV Creative crew. We do sketchy art things. And if you want to join in on Digital Drawcember, just do a digital drawing. I have an Instagram where I have the official prompt list, and you don't have to follow the official prompt list, you just have to hashtag it with Digital Drawcember. And we are all good. But if you do want to follow me on my other social medias, I have an Instagram. I have a Pinterest. I haven't been talking about that, but I don't link it anyways. I have a DeviantArt. I have a Twitter. I have a Tumblr. I think that's about all for me. Yeah, that's about all my accounts, but obviously I have a YouTube. So, wherever you are, I hope that you are having a wonderful day. And as always, make sure that you do what you do to make that artwork for you. Lots of love! Bye!